Hey everyone, welcome to Belly Strong. This is your 20-minute workout for week 23 of pregnancy, and we'll get straight into it with a warm-up. So we'll start with those legs nice and wide, arms out to the sides, and you're bending forward to tap the opposite toe. You're trying to keep the back and the knees fairly straight, so you feel a stretch in those hamstrings or into those calves, twisting through that upper body for 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Hands will move behind the head, and this time we're squatting down and then lifting one leg up to the side. So as you lift that leg up to the side, you should feel your obliques working, but you should also feel a nice inner thigh stretch. Keep those elbows pointing outwards. Just 1 more each side. And we'll move into some lunges. So tuck that pelvis slightly under, tension through the abs. As you lunge back, you'll take arms overhead and then switch. So this is just to open up those hip flexors, open up those abdominals that are getting quite a stretch and might be getting quite tight as the baby grows. One more each side, and come back to that windmill. So legs nice and wide, straight back, tap the opposite toe. If it's a struggle to get all the way down there, you can tap your knee as long as you're getting a little bit of a twist through that upper body. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hands behind head, bend those knees down into a squat and lift leg up to the side. Down and up. Keep that chest open. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Turn to the side, pelvic tuck under, and we reach up to the ceiling as we step back into that lunge. Almost there. 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we should be a little bit warmer now. We're going to continue to work those legs in standing. And the movement is a squat. In this squat position, we hold it as we go out, out, in. So we're stepping out and in at a relatively quick pace. So our heart rate's also going to go up as we get in a little bit of cardio. Out, out, in. For 8 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Up. We're going to stick with some squatting. Now the movement is a squat, and then you open the knees out into a plie. Squat, plie. So you're slightly leaning forward, but your back is straight, leaning at an angle forwards. I'm not coming all the way up, although you can if you need to, but I'm staying relatively low as I rotate at the hips. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand up, turn to the side. We've got a hip extension, but in a leaning forward position. So I'm slightly leaning forward. I'm going to take one leg behind me, supporting knee is bent, and the movement is a leg lift and tap. So with this, I'm really focusing on squeezing the glute muscle as I lift that leg up to the ceiling. I'm trying not to hunch, but back is straight, chest is open, both hips are pointing forwards as I lift. Just 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Switch, slight knee bend, hinge forwards, tension in those abs, lift. Keep breathing. Squeeze that glute at the top. Control the lower back down. Try to make sure that you still have tension in those abs. 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Come back up into standing, and we're going to do our out, out, in squats again. Down, and we step out and in, out and in, keeping nice and low. Really sit those hips back behind you as you maintain that squat position. 10 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand up, have a quick wiggle. We now go down into our squat and then rotate into that plie position. As the knees rotate outwards, squeeze the hips. So you're trying to push those knees really out and open. 6 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand up, turn to the side. We've got our leg lifts. Hinge forward. Zip up through those abs as you lift. Try not to let the low back move throughout this. We want it locked in and stable. This is also a little bit of a balance exercise for that standing leg. 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch smoothly from side to side. and we lift. Keep your eyes focused on one spot in front of you on the floor to help with that balance. Six, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and come up to standing. We're now going to roll down onto the mat, and I'm just going to straighten my mat out into a bear position. So chin to chest, round that spine. Walk forward, start in all fours to get your form correct. Push out of those shoulders. Find a middle in between neutral spine position. And then bring that belly up as you tense those abdominals. You're going to tuck your toes underneath each other. Lift up into a bear position. And if this is enough for you, stay here. Otherwise, rotating one knee out, and then we do 4 of those, and then down. And again, tuck the toes under, come up, knee comes out. As knee comes out, the hips don't move, they stay still. And I'm trying to keep my belly from hanging out. I want to keep that abdominal tension, keep that flattening through the ribs throughout that movement. And again, up, knee. If you don't need a break in between, you can just continue doing this, 10 to 15 times, or take that break to reset yourself. We're going to do that 3 more times. Tucking under, twisting those knees out, but not letting the hips twist. 2 more. Last one. Almost there. And sit back into child's pose for a little bit of a release as you breathe. You can even twist from side to side in this position. And from here, we come out into a side plank. So you're supporting yourself on your elbow, pushing up and out of that elbow, knees together. Lift the hips to the ceiling as you push the hips forward, so you're in a nice straight line, but flatten through the ribs so you've got tension, so your abs are holding the baby here, trying not to let everything drop towards the mat. We tap the hips down, and as we come up, we open the knees, down and up, down and up. It's just a very light tap of that hip to the floor before you bring the hips back up. 4, 3, 2, 1. You're going to hold that last one, and we're pulsing here. So lifting the hips up a little bit higher as we work those obliques for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back down for a little bit of a rest. Roll out that shoulder. We've just got 8 side leg lifts before we repeat all of that on the other side. So start with the knees together, lift the hips up, push them forward, flatten those ribs. Try not to stick the belly out too much. And we've got 8 leg lifts in this position. You should feel that bottom hip working. 5, 6, 7, 8, and relax. Swing those legs over. Repeat on the other side, starting with our hip lifts up to the ceiling. Push those hips forward, and we tap down as we come up, knees open. Try not to let that belly poke out too much, although a little bit of poking out is unavoidable at this point. But it's all about keeping abdominal tension. 3, 2, 1. Hold it up there. Pulse. Really work that bottom hip, those bottom abs as you lift. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hips down. Roll that shoulder out just for a few seconds. We've got 8 leg lifts before we roll onto our backs. Hips up, one leg out, and we pulse up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and relax. Okay, we're going to lie on our backs in this position. If it's a bit tough for you to lie on your back, if you get breathless or dizzy, then you can do some modified exercises in this position with leg lifts. Otherwise, we are on our backs, and in this position, you're going to cross your arms over, and you're going to apply pressure to your belly. So squeezing in to give the abs a little bit of support. I'm in a neutral spine position here, and the movement is a curl. So as I exhale, I'm lifting just my shoulders off of the mat. So it's not a sit up, it's lifting of the shoulders. The chin doesn't have to tuck in, and release. So apply inward pressure to support those abdominals. As you exhale, use the abdominals to lift that head and those shoulders off of the mat. Hold for 3 seconds and down. If you notice that when you do this, your belly button is sticking out or coning, you're probably not activating the right muscles just yet. So you could even do this by just kind of pretending to lift your head, but just tensing those abdominal muscles. But if your form is good, we keep with a lift, and you should feel the tension somewhere here and down. Just a few more of those. Up and down, and last one. Just to make sure we're activating those muscles nicely and down. Okay, so I want you to remember the feeling of creating that tension as we move into our next exercise. Flatten those ribs as you bring one leg up into tabletop. Your opposite arm is going to come behind your head. The movement is a tap down, and as that leg comes up, we're going to lift and twist. It's not a huge lift, it's just one shoulder lifting and a slight twist of the trunk. Tap, twist, tap, twist. So as you do this, we shouldn't have a lot of movement of the belly. It should be relatively flat, abdominals tense, or as flat as you can manage at this stage of pregnancy. And if this is really nice and easy, you can do this with the other leg lifted. But that's only if we can keep our abdominals from bulging or coning. Last one. We're going to move straight onto the other side, where we tap down and lift. You can have one foot on the mat if this is a little bit difficult, but we've got 8 more. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And bring the feet down. A little bit of stretching as we finish up. Cross one leg over the other, and then bring that other leg towards you as you hold between or hold behind your thighs, pushing that knee open. You can do this in a sitting position, sitting on the mat, supporting yourself with your hands behind you. If you're unable to do this, lying on your back. So I'll demonstrate that for the next one. You can either stay on your back or stretch it out in this position. Then one leg in front of you, other leg out. And here you're just hinging forward with a nice straight back. Try not to let the toe come forward, keep the toe pushing out, and you should feel a bit of an inner thigh stretch. Other side. Stand or sit up nice and tall as you hinge forward. Cross those legs, clasp your hands behind you, and just open up your chest as you lift your hands away from your buttocks. And breathe in this position. Shake out those arms, take those legs behind you, and roll back up into standing, nice and slowly. Hips to ceiling, then we round the spine, roll up. Back into standing, just shake out those arms. 20 minutes goes by pretty fast. That is the 20-minute workout done for week 23. We'll have another 10-minute workout out later this week, and we'd love to have you subscribe to the channel so you know when our videos are coming out, and I'll see you soon.